Okay, hey everybody, it's me, Bonkai922. Got a weird comment on my Dan to Dan episode. Some douchebag saying I'm too old. That person, listen, get the fuck out of here. Like, really. You don't know how old I am, so go to hell. Anyway, moving on. Bleach. Battle Your Blood War. Season 3, Episode 10. Hold My Hand, Baby 2. Now, I remember this from the manga, so nothing surprised me. It was pretty brutal. I found it funny. I think it happens in this episode that I do remember. I could be wrong. But I do remember this happened in the manga. A certain scene happens where a certain enemy that Mayuri had defeated reappears, sort of like I want to say red herring, but like as a phantom in a way. But we'll get to that. So we finished Sung Sui's battle. He won. Happy days. And then we go back to Mayuri. Yeah, Pernida's not dead. He explodes out of his Bankai stomach. Good effect, by the way, of the stomach flesh and body parts and whatever you want to call it. The only drawback, I have to admit this, the only drawback to this fight has been the way Pernida had went about animated Pernida. Or the so on so forth Soul King's arm. I just feel like, was it really necessary to make it CGI? Couldn't you just do normal T2D? I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's the worst. By far me, it's not the worst. It is not the worst CGI I've seen in my life. So it's not too bad. But still, could have improved on it. Now, this episode is very gory. There are two scenes that are very gory. The ending and what leads to the ending. Now, Pernida's free. He's got his arms. He's like, hey, he's improving his English as he goes along. And Mayuri notices it. Oh, he's evolving. He starts shooting arrows, and believe it or not, his arrows have his nerves as well. So he's doing this, and there are instances where all of a sudden out of nowhere, Nemu gets involved. And he's like, he berates her, saying, I didn't tell you to do that. You know, and so on and so forth. And then they formulate a plan. And the reason why she did what she did was she didn't get... He has these drugs that regrow his limbs because, yeah. And she gives him the drug, and she uses it on herself to regrow limbs. And after that, he explains to her what she needs to do, which is there's this shot that coagulates the blood. Clogs the blood in nerves. So she uses it, and it kind of coagulates the other arms and kills them, but it doesn't kill the main one, Pernida. And then from there, we get a flashback. You know what that means, boys and girls. Someone's gonna die. Death flag! So, yes, this is a flashback of Nemu. You know what's coming. Now, It's just from what I remember in the manga, it's the same spiel of when she was created, number 7. We get some backstory of the process of that. That there was a lot of failed experiments of Nemu, and I forgot what he called. He called it the Nemu Project. Yeah, it was a longer word than that. No, Nemurine or something. But there were like about 6 iterations until the 7th Nemu was able to get past childhood, teenage years, and go to a full female adult age. That's what we get from it. And she's saying to what's his face about how Mayuri's not calling her uh, Nemu number 7 anymore. But that's your name. Your name is Nemu. You are his greatest creation. And we cut back to the present where she's going, holy shit, on Pernida. Goes right through him. And like goes and attacks him and leaves Mayuri to watch. And blasts this Hado right through his freaking eye. Now, surprisingly enough, he survives. But it's funny because this attack kind of fucks him up pretty badly. Pernida. And what ends on happening is he stabs the nerves into Nemu and she explodes like a party balloon. It's gory. But he then attacks. But then after that happens, out of nowhere. Now, I remember this from the manga. This did happen in the manga. I could be wrong, but I believe it did. Xylopolo Grant shows up. And he berates Mayuri completely about Nemu and her dying and how she's a failed experiment. And we get some flashbacks of when he's told him, Mayuri to Xylopolo, about this. And Mayuri's like, of course. But then, disgustingly, freaking Pernida's eating the remains of Nemu. And one problem. Inside of my Nemu's brain, there's this part of her brain grows exponentially. But if you eat part of that, but not the whole brain, the cells will just expand, and explode. And that's essentially how Pernida dies. It's gory. I could use some gore in my life. It was pretty gory. It was pretty, like I said, the only problem I have with this fight is they decided to go the CGI route. Now, I've seen really bad CGI. This wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse. But I did like seeing how fucked up Pernida was. He was all messed up and shit. His eyes were lopsided and whatnot. And he just freaking explodes. And his remains are all over the place. The conclusion to this fight is basically Mayuri walking off. His feet apparently were attacked with the nerves and he falls. But he has Nemu's brain with him. And we see Igaku and the other guy from Squad 11 show up, pick him up. They take him to a place that he specifies, which is basically where these containers are. And inside the containers are Rangiku and Hitsugaya. So, if we go back, remember what happened to them with the Stern Ritter girls. Well, apparently they're okay now. They're no longer zombies. They're back to human form. Okay. So what ends on happening is they put him in the container along with Zaraki. It closes, and we get this nice scene where he's in the liquid, and he sees Nemu naked. And that's where the episode ends. Overall, I liked it. It was a good like way to end it. You know, I think the anime did a good job with what they did with it. Like I said, my only gripe is the CGI. But listen, there are different levels of CGI. There's dog shit, absolute dog shit CGI, which, you know, was. And then there's CGI where it's like, not that bad. This was like immediate. It could have been 2D, but I'm not completely against it. I'm not like saying, no, this is trash. It was okay. Rating-wise, I did think it was emotionally charged in this episode. So, I'm still giving this a high rating. I'm still going to say 9 out of 10 for this one. Next week, it seems like we're going to get Now. Now, I think I know what happens. Shang Sui gave her a sword, which I think is his other sword. Could be wrong on this. And she's going to use it to get rid of the shadows. I think, I'm not sure. Because there's an extra scene in this episode where we have the Stern Ritter girls against all of the things that are part of Yuha. And, you know, they're eating the guys and whatnot. And then we go shift straight into Haschwalth, where he's talking about where is Uliu. And there's a Uliu in here, and we've got to pull that on him. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Basby, confronting Haschwalth. So, I think next week we're probably going to get that, but it's going to be also Now. You know? Because it's something to do with the shadows, so who knows. But like I said, 9 out of 10 out of this one. Yeah, it's going along. We're probably not going to get Ichigo's fight. Sorry. That's going to wait for the next season. But with 3 episodes left, I got to imagine it's going to be just Basby and Haschwalth, and that's how we're going to close it. Which I'm okay with. I think what they've done. I might also, bear with me, but I might also want to do an extra video on Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. And more specifically, on what Kubo and Pernida have done with these additions. I look forward to that video. But until then, this is Bankai 2. See you guys later. Man, Mayuri, he's just mad scientist to the core. I'll see you guys later.